It was there. I needed to take care of my family, I needed to take care of my siblings. I had my why. Yet, this seemed to be why number 2. It's like you built that, it was kicking butt. Your mentor's like, "You're crazy, don't get rid of this." But you're like, I'm bored. I'm not passionate about this. I don't want to get up. I don't want to work." So you were searching for why number 2, weren't you?
I was. I was. I was like, what is my purpose?
And India did India bring it to you? Did you find it
Oh,
there?
again, so it's so interesting telling stories because it does seem like it's like ABC. It definitely wasn't that in reality. I felt like I was lost for a long time. So while I was in India, I met someone who's a dear friend now called E. And he works, I think he was the director of sports therapy for the New York Knicks. He doesn't do that anymore. But he approached me and he was like, "What's your story?" And I told him, and he was like, "You're such an A-fester." I was like, "What are those?" And he said, "Have you heard of Burning Man?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "You haven't heard of Burning Man?" I was like, "I don't know. I guess I don't get out much." I'm like, "Sorry." And then he said, what did he say? He was like, "Okay, well, Burning Man is this festival that is in a desert and it's really creative and there's these parties. And A-Fest is like a mix between TED Talks and these festivals. And I think you would love it." And I was like, "I guess. I don't know." He was like, "Put in an application form and see." And it's an event that is run by a company called Mind Value, which most people know if they're interested in personal development. And it's one of their premium events. I don't think they run it anymore. So my first event I went to was in 2016. And that was the first time I met a woman called Lisa Nichols and I hired her as my coach. So Lisa was on the movie The Secret. And she was the first Black woman I saw in terms of representation. She had, I think she was one of two Black women that had a publicly listed business, and she's a coach. I was just like, who is this woman? I was really intimidated by her. So I started working with her. And in that community, it's entrepreneurs from all around the world. They're into self healing. So it was refreshing because at breakfast, the table conversation was, "Yeah, so this is my childhood trauma and this is what I'm working." I'm like, people talk like this? Like, I found my people. So it's because growing up, I was always told you're intimidating. But in this group of people, people were telling me you're so regal. And I was like, I'm not intimidating. It's like, okay, like maybe it's not that I'm intimidating. Maybe it's just the people, I bring something up in people that experience opened up so many things for me. I saw people who were making money and in their purpose. And I always used to think you have to make money first and become successful, then you can give back. And they were doing it at the same time. So that's when I started becoming open to like, what does that look like for me? And I was still pushing away coaching. And even when I worked with Lisa, she was like, you need to write a book, you need to start speaking, like think about coaching. And I was rejecting it. No, 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 no. And yeah, so after I did that personal development event, it kind of just all these things, I was doing my friend a favor that allowed me to speak, that then saw me to see. So it wasn't like oh, I know what my purpose is. I set the intention and I was open to it. And these circumstances and situations were planting seeds. And then when the pandemic happened, I had a friend that was living in Tulum and she was like, "There's no pandemic here. If you want freedom, come here." And I was like, "That sounds good." So I bought a ticket. Again, one of those crazy things. Everyone's like, "What are you doing? No one's traveling." I'm like, "I am."